Let's get inside. Okay. Can't happen fast enough. The sooner we get in, the sooner I can get drunk. Hey, who are you? Paul Amsel. What's up, Paul? You step inside and the squalor of the disused U-Bahn tunnel gives way to the warmth of your safe house. A man waits inside, silhouetted against the dim fluorescent lighting. Something bad has happened, hasn't it? He steps forward, revealing a pale and expressionless face, light glinting off of steel-rimmed glasses. Paul Amsel, your team's fixer and landlord, part dealmaker, part information broker, one of the most well-connected men in Berlin. His eyes sweep across the team as he takes it all in. The grim faces, the hard stares, Iger's fury, Monica's absence. I had a feeling. How did she... His face is gone ashen. He swallows, takes a moment to chew on the words before spitting them out. How did it happen? Something in the vault security system got her. The run was a setup. 1 minute she was cracking the safe. The next she was on the ground screaming. Do we know what it was a setup? It was definitely not what we were expecting. Something in the vault security got her. I've seen Monica hit Black IC before. This was something worse. Glory nods, her motions robotic and spare. Monica died of a biofeedback-induced stroke. That's right. Iger thrusts a gloved finger into your chest. And this idiot stood by and let it happen. Well, what did you want me to do? You weren't even in the room. Poke me again, I dare you. Let it happen. She jacked in, she screamed, and she seized. By the time we saw she was in trouble, it was already too late. Yeah, because you never bothered learning what to look for. Muscle contractions and microtremors are good indicators of a Decker in distress. I'm assuming you didn't have anyone keeping an eye out for those? No. If you had, my friend wouldn't be lying dead in a basement. Oh, shove off, Iviger. We were all on the lookout for physical security, analog included. Throwing him under the bus isn't going to help anything. Under a bus is exactly where he belongs. Iger turns to face Dietrich. She towers over him, but he stands his ground. I respect you, Dietrich. You know that, but you don't have my training. None of you have. Monica was good. She was the best, right? But she was also overconfident. She treated the job like it was a game. Do that long enough and you're gonna get burned. Iger turns her focus back to you. If you'd been paying attention, you'd have figured out all this on your own by now. You would have known that Monica needed watching as much as that door. Enough, Iger. Amsel's voice is hoarse, his expression blank. Enough. Iger pushes ahead, heedless of the interruption. Her voice remains measured, but there's a fire in her eyes. How many seconds passed between Monica's first convulsion and her plug getting pulled? 4? 5? Do you know how much damage biofeedback can do to a Decker's brain in 5 seconds? This won't solve anything. You don't have to answer that. Of course you know. Monica died while you stood there and watched. This is all your fault. That is enough. Amsel's voice comes out in a roar. His fist smashes down on the desk behind him. Iger, you and Analog can have it out later, but I've had enough. We need to talk action. Our client sent you into something much bigger than he'd led us to believe. I want to know why. Right there with you. This was supposed to be a milk run. Payback isn't the only reason why we need to find him. We saw something back there. Something that we weren't supposed to see. It's fair to assume that we're all still in danger. He pauses, rubs his temples. Agreed. And to neutralize that danger, we need to know who we are dealing with. Let's review the events that transpired tonight. The smallest detail could be important, so hold nothing back. The estate was just a front for whatever was going on in the basement. After everything went to hell, we were confronted by an orc in military-grade armor. Monica lived long enough to say a name, Feuerschwinge. She fought hard to tell us. It must be important. Amsel seems taken aback. He pauses for a moment before responding. The Fire Wing. This is unexpected. You have to forgive me. That brings back many unpleasant memories. Glory raises an eyebrow. The Fire Wing? The most terrible of the great dragons. There are those who would disagree, but they never experienced the terror of living in her shadow. He glances at Glory. You are far too young to remember her, of course, but for Germans of my generation, the name Feuerschwing is synonymous with chaos, destruction, and death. The dragons of today are subtle creatures full of patience and guile. Feuerschwing was not. After her awakening, she went on a 4-month rampage that claims tens of thousands of lives. Amsel takes a deep breath, slowly releases it. There is a haunted look in his eyes. Those were dark days. Countless men, women, and children were slaughtered, roasted alive in their homes by a creature of legend. No hope for salvation, and no end in sight. It was a horror that you cannot begin to understand. What stopped her? I can't imagine that a rampaging dragon would just go away on its own. Eventually, the Fire Wing was brought down by a man named Dr. Adrian Vauclair. Well, with the help of the Luftwaffe, of course. But it was experimental weapons designed by Dr. Vauclair that finally pierced her hide. She fell in a hail of bullets and rocket fire and crashed down in the radioactive wasteland of the Sox. The event was called the Dragonfall. Okay. Safe at least from the dragon's wrath, Germany celebrated Vauclair as a hero. Our own Siegfried, a modern-day dragon slayer. My own family practically worshipped the man. Even if the Dragonfall was as important as an event as you make it out to be, I'm surprised that I've never heard of it. Those early years of the Awakening were traumatic, Iger. Not just on a national level, but on a global scale. New species of awakened animals were being discovered daily. Within 2 years of the Dragonfall, the active use of magic had returned to the world, a new source of terror for a bewildered public. And in 2021, the sudden emergence of orcs and trolls gave rise to yet another wave of global panic. In light of such turmoil, is it any surprise that Dr. Vauclair and the Fire Wing were forgotten? Dragons were yesterday's news. He rubs his temples. Again, all of this happened decades ago. To the best of my knowledge, the story of Feuerschwing is a bed of historical trivia and nothing more. Alright, so Monica spent her dying breath trying to tell us about a long-dead dragon. Iger sweeps her eyes across the group, searching for a glimmer of insight. Finally, she gives up. Any ideas as to why? Amsel's voice trembles with frustration. No, it doesn't make any more sense to me than it does to you. The Dragonfall is ancient history. Feuerschwing has been dead and gone for 42 years. But there's one thing that I do know. Whatever Monica saw, whatever she was trying to tell us, it was important. He visibly struggles to calm himself, takes a deep breath, and slowly releases it. I will look into this, and I will find answers. In the meantime, did you turn up anything else of value? Okay, we'll do all these then. The estate was just a front. Ansel nods. That much is clear. It wasn't a minor enterprise either. That facility took serious funds to build. And time. There was more to it than we saw. Places like that don't spring up overnight. And all in secret. The owners, whoever they may be, were none too pleased by your escape, I'm sure. What else did you find? That orc. He appeared to be the head of security. That is not much to go on. Do any details about this orc come to mind? Any distinguishing features that I could look into? His huge scar and hideousness. He was an older guy, for one. From the sound of his voice, I'm guessing mid to late 40s. Pretty old for an orc. And he'd had skin grafts. Most of his face looked like replacement material. If the grafts came from a legitimate hospital, there may be medical records. That is something. I will see what I can find out. Did you note anything else during the run that may be of value? That's all we've got, I guess. That's not much. Amsel nods. His face is drawn and haggard. It is thin, I agree. A basement, a middle-aged orc with skin grafts, and a long-forgotten world event. Whoever sent us knew we were set up. That's obvious, but why? Paul's face reddens. I warned her. I told her not to take this run. but she assured me it would be a cakewalk. You didn't bring it to her? No, she set up the whole thing herself. Monica was approached recently by a man who calls himself Green Winters. He used to be a prominent activist in the F-state political scene. I never much liked the man, and I certainly never trusted him. But Monica, she would do anything for her cause, anything for the Flux state. He sighs. Winters swears that the data he was after was crucial to ensuring the future stability of the Flux, and that was all it took. We need to track him down and press him for information. Yes, most definitely. It is clear that Green Winters has involved us in something much larger than he led Monica to believe. When he finds out what happened on the run, he's probably going to grab it. We need to chase him down before that happens. Any leads? There's a man here in the Kreutz Bazaar, a Turk named Altug Burakaz. Yeah, you got it. He owns a little soy calf shop just down the way called Cafe Kazve. This man is also a purveyor of information. I've done business with him from time to time. And you think he would know something about Green Winters? Amsel nods. When I discovered Monica's renewed association with Green Winters, I contacted Altug. One of his people has been keeping tabs on Winters ever since. As I said, I did not trust the man. For good reason, yeah. I'll go talk to him and see what he knows. Very well, tell him I sent you. I will do what I can to dig into the information that you've uncovered already, sparse though it may be. Oh, 5, that's a ton. Hey, dog, Dante. As you start towards the safe house door, a large four-legged form steps around the corner. Dante, Monica's dog, an enormous mongrel of indeterminate breed. A low whimper emerges as he enters the room, head hanging low. Oh, he knows. Oh shit, Dante. Dietrich shakes his head. Don't worry, boy, we'll look after you. At the sight of Monica's dog, Amsel's eyes well up. He inhales, but can't quite catch his breath. He started whimpering about an hour ago, turned into a full-blown howl. Wouldn't stop, kept... He closes his eyes. That's when I realized something bad had happened. Looking down into those huge brown eyes, you see intelligence and sadness. He lets out a small whine and rubs his head against you. Scratching behind the ears. He looks up mournfully, pressing his ribs against her leg. I guess the dog's going with you, Analog. Amsel takes a ragged breath and releases it. Then a slow, melancholy smile plays across his face. Well, perhaps a part of Monica lives on in Dante. Well, return to the safe house when you're finished with the Altug, my friend. With a little luck, he can help us locate Green Winters and we can get to the bottom of this. He stares at the floor. And now, I think we should all take a moment. His lips tighten. For Monica. Dietrich turns his head as you approach. His aging face is traced with a network of faint scars, the legacy of too many fights over too many years. While he still retains a degree of strength and vigor, it's obvious that the shaman you seek today is a shadow of his former self. Despite all this, there is still an aura of power surrounding the man. He raises his bottle, offering it to you. Analog, welcome. I've got a bottle of schnapps that needs sharing, and we've got a fallen comrade to drink to. To Monica, Prost. The liquor in the bottle is crystal clear, and as you raise it, you catch an intoxicating whiff of cloves and caramel. A taste of sweet corn and walnuts with a lingering aftertaste of buttery toffee. You swallow a swig and return the bottle to Dietrich's outstretched hands. He takes a long pull on the bottle, then locks eyes with you. Let me ask you a question, Analog. What made you choose to come to Berlin? Nothing in particular. Dietrich rolls his eyes. Oh, come on, boss. You're gonna have to do better than that. Monica told me that you made a name for yourself in the Megaplex, had your own team and everything. Leads a man to wonder why you packed up and moved here. I had to drop out of sight for a while. Sure enough, I think that most of the team is here to hide from something. Not me, of course. Given the choice between hiding from something and punching it smack in the nose, you know which direction I tend to lean. But most of the others, yeah. Even Iger's hiding out from something. How do you know? Intuition. Got a nose for damaged people. Of course, I've spent most of my life running with and playing for folks who are damaged in one way or another, so that might have something to do with it. So things got heavy back in the Ruhrplex, and you decided to bail and head to Berlin. Am I getting that right? More or less. There wasn't much left for me in the Ruhrplex, and Monica made a hell of an offer. Ah, yes, Monica. Dietrich raises his bottle again, then closes his eyes and takes a long drink. After the moment has passed, he returns his attention to you. It all comes back to our girl, doesn't it? So let me ask you, just what was your relationship with Monica anyway? I know that you two knew each other way back, but she was pretty coy about these things. It's dangerously personal territory. Are we? Sorry about that. Never been much for boundaries. All the same, I'd like it if you told me. Dietrich shrugs. I always intended to get to know Monica better, but it's too late to ask her in person. I knew Monica well enough to know what you mean. She did have a mysterious way about her. So what was the deal between you two? Don't leave me in suspense. We were friends. Right there with you, and privileged to say so. She was one of the best women I've ever known. Anyway, I've taken enough of your time, and the bottle's almost empty. Thanks for taking the time to talk. For what it's worth, I'm happy you're here with us. Dietrich takes a final pull on the bottle and tips it forward, pouring the rest on the ground. Rest in peace, Monica. We'll miss you, girl. What's up with you guys? Iger glares at you, and you can still taste the bile in her stare. She clearly still blames you for Monica's death. Something I can do for you, fearless leader? I don't think talking about Monica's a great idea. You're wrong about me. I intend to prove that to you. She stares at you for a moment, then looks away. Best of luck with that, Analog. Now please, leave me alone. Not yet. There's something else that I want to say. Alright, but make it quick. We need to talk about Monica, I guess. Not right now, we don't. Don't push me on this. One of these days we're gonna hash this out and you can talk all you like about the clusterfuck that killed one of my best friends, but it won't be today. Alright, but this conversation isn't over. It is for now, fearless leader. She turns away. Do us both a favor. Take the hint and go away. Yeah, I pushed her a bit. Glory, what's up? Glory is beautiful in a whitefish sort of way. Whitefish? I don't know. Her features are almost elfish in their delicacy, but there's something cold about her that you find slightly unsettling. What's more unsettling is her chrome. Glory is rocking a heavy loadout of cyberware from head to toe. She looks to be composed more of plastic and metal than she is of skin and bone. In the shadows, individuals such as this are anything but uncommon. But Glory's cyberware is first generation, all of it. Bulky, invasive, practically museum pieces. This chrome was obsolete well before she was born. Analog. Glory shifts her gaze to you, but her expression is cool and placid as always. Can I help you? Personal questions don't seem like a good idea. She seems very private. How are you holding up? Don't worry about me. I'm solid. You look like you're a million miles away. Better be okay. you say you're good, I trust you. Glory's expression remains neutral, but she grants you a barely perceptible nod. What do we do next? Find our missing client. Extract some answers. Beyond that, find another Decker. Monica won't be easy to replace. Best start looking now. Alright, I'll ask her. I'm not big on sharing sport, personal reasons. You understand, I'm sure. The edge in her voice tells you that she's not interested in continuing this conversation. Alright, we all have our secrets, but if you ever want to talk, I'm here. What's in this little hidey hole? Oh, Dante's... Is he gonna come into combat with us? I'm not sure if that's cool or not. Well, no, it is cool, but I'm not sure if it's a good idea or not. Alright. Let's get out of here then. I think this is the right way. Yeah, there's the exit. Streets. I was expecting a loading screen. That's nice. Who's this? The dwarvish tech vendor smiles at you with practiced ease, her almond eyes twinkling with the glare from a dozen trid screens. She speaks in a clipped, heavily accented German. Welcome to the Data Haven. Can I help you with something? Show me what you got. What kind of tech do you carry? Show me what you got. Most of this I'm not going to be able to use. Outfits, huh? For those who dress for inside the Matrix and out. So... You're the wrong kind of store for me, at least. Hey, Elaine, what's up? Before you stands a troll, though. It is barely a stretch to say he is standing at all. His great mass is barely held upright by two vintage prosthetic legs, along with a crutch under one arm. His body clicks and hums with every shift of his weight. Despite these disabilities, his eyes are sharp and calculating. I know you? If you know Monica... Sure, I know Monica. You one of hers, then? There's something you should know about her. Something happened to her on the run. You know something about it? Just what my eyes and ears tell me. I had a feeling. Besides, Monica was almost always comes around after a run to check on everybody. She's long overdue, and now here you are in her place. So she's either severely wounded or outright dead. Which is it? Dead. The grizzled troll nods grimly. The servos in his prosthetics complain as he lets loose a heavy sigh. Now that is a shame. She was one hell of a runner, that one. And a good friend. I'm Analog, by the way. Good to meet you, Analog. Name's Alexei Lane. What's your place in the Kreutz Bazaar? No place, really. Just an old relic rusting away. Well, I'll let you rust, then. That's to the subway. Oh, I've got a compass. Up in the corner. Is this my goal? Cafe. Casve. Jan Goldschmidt. What's up, Jan? Hello, my friend. The voice that comes from the man in the chair is as enormous as its owner, a deep booming roar dripping with unrestrained mirth. A fine day for a soy calf, yes? I'm gonna get interrupted. Every day is a fine day. From the back of the store, the voice of the shopkeeper cuts you off. Don't mind the fool in the chair. He roars like a traumatized walrus, stewing all day in his own sweat. The man behind the bar glares at Goldschmidt, his upper lip curled in disgust. I tolerate him only because he takes his soy calf by the bucket. Goldschmidt responds with a raucous belly laugh. Apparently, he finds the shopkeeper's insults to be hilarious. Ah, Altug, mein Freund. You are as quick-witted and sharp-tongued as ever. I bow to you. Are you going to put... Once again, the shopkeeper cuts in. To bow to me, you would have to first vacate your chair. The shopkeeper claps his hands together, clasping them in front of his chest. I shall summon a team of determined young men and an ox to assist with the task. With luck, you'll be on your feet by nightfall. Goldschmidt smiles up at you, his small eyes glittering. Enough of this senseless bickering. You have approached me for a reason, yes? Tell me, what can Jan Goldschmidt do for you? Why do you put up with those insults? I put up with them because they amuse me. The fact that they amuse me infuriates my dear friend Altug, who then turn hurls more insults. Goldschmidt raises his soy calf cup in salute. And thus the cycle continues. It is 2 years now that I've been your customer. Yes, Altug? 2 years of soy calf and strained patience, yes. And I remained happy, and Altug makes money. An ideal business relationship. That all sounds perfectly healthy. Take care, Jan. Goldschmidt gives you a deep nod, his jowls quivering. You. Until next time, my friend. Alright, what's your deal? The man behind the counter looks right past you and at the dog following close behind. Dante, I will fetch his water dish. Perhaps a coffee for our friend here? Yeah, soy calf, black. The Turk looks disgusted. Very well. Very well. A soy calf. The man behind the counter has the broad smile and open demeanor of a classic Turkish street vendor. Welcome, honored Efendim. Welcome, and how can Barak Ghazi serve you today? You would like a cup of coffee, perhaps? Coffee, as in real coffee? Yes, for individuals of refined taste. I offer genuine bean coffee from my native Turkey. The cafe owner looks you in the eye. The tone of his voice grows low and serious. This is a top-shelf item, my friend, and not for the general public. Only for those few discerning connoisseurs who could properly appreciate it. Tell me more. It is handpicked by my family in Turkey, a true delicacy of the Sixth World. This was considered a luxury even before the awakening, when bean coffee was everywhere. Every street corner, they say. Barak Ghazi leans close, lowering his voice to a conspiratorial whisper. Long hours in the shop have perfumed his body with a commingling sense of coffee, incense, and applewood tobacco. Trust me, if your coffee experience has been limited to soy calf, you must not deny yourself this opportunity. You will see God. Okay, how much? 50. This is a specialty item, delivered at some cost. I cannot part with it for less than 50 yen a cup. Too rich for my blood. As I said, these items are not for anybody. Is there something else that interested you? Paul Amsel sends his regards. Alright. When he hears Amsel's name, the Turk's voice lowers and his accent becomes less exaggerated. His eyes take on a knowing look. Ah, very good. Please express to Herr Amsel my appreciation of his patronage. If he needs any more catering jobs seen to in the future, I'm always happy to provide. Catering? I don't get it. Paul's always pleased to send... Oh. Should have read that first. The coffee shop owner offers you a smile. Of course. Herr Amsel is too kind. Barakazi turns his head and calls into the back room. Kami, come. A young woman bustles in from the back room. Her gum chewing is loud enough to hear over the noise of the coffee grinders. Wow, that's loud. Barakazi spits something out in the rapid-fire Turkish. As you wish, uncle. I will see to it right away. Kami offers you a shy grin, snaps her gum, and hurries back into the room that she came from. My girl Kami is arranging to make contact with the chef as we speak. This will likely take some time. My chef is a busy man. While we talk, I wonder if you would be so kind as to run a small errand for me. A trifle, really. I hate to trouble you. I am most embarrassed to even ask, but I would be most appreciative of your help. What is this trifle? Altuk's voice lowers to nearly a whisper. The errand is simple, hardly worthy of you. I've installed a number of data taps to Berlin's fiber optic network. As part of my civic duty, you understand. These taps provide free matrix access for all who live in the Kreuz Bazaar. In order to maintain their, their anonymity, each tap's protocol buffer must be reset every few days. I simply wish for you to visit each data tap and reset it. Simple enough. Yes. It is a simple job. Time-consuming and a bit tedious, perhaps, but simple. Just reset the taps and come back when you are finished. There should be 3 of them scattered around this neighborhood. The first one is just outside. Look for a metal box with yellow arrows painted atop it. By the time of your return, I should have the information Herr Amsel requested.